A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In today's channeling session, we would be talking about a divine masculine who has awakened, and he has been doing a lot of inner work because, again, the mirroring effect has taken place in their cases, and he is actually describing the divine feminine's love, her compassion, her understanding nature, and a lot of other positive qualities that he was otherwise not open to because he was not fully awakened. When you are in sleep or you're in half sleep, or the most important thing that happens in a twin flame journey is that you sleep, you wake up, you sleep again, you wake up, you sleep. It is not, the awakening is not consistent. So to make the awakening consistent for both divine feminine and masculine, they have to practice awareness so that whenever they're about to get into a sleep-like state, and here it is not like the sleep where you take rest, it is the sleep where you are like blind, like being blind and having a vision, okay, could be able to see things. So it's also connected to, in a way, with your pineal gland. If your pineal gland gets blocked, then your connection with the spiritual world gets affected, and you cannot see things the way they really are. So basically, these two eyes that you have, the physical eyes, they are the connection to the materialistic world, and the third eye is the connection to the spiritualistic world. And both of them, and that's why it's in between. So when your pineal gland is clear, it's not unblocked, then what happens is that you're able to understand and perceive things without the judgment or without the veil of fear on it. When, you are in state of fear, that's the time when people do more reaction. When you don't have fear, you don't react, you only respond. So when you see the world from the materialistic eyes or from the physical eyes only, now we must also tell you that a combination is also required to be in the balance. My guru has taught me one very important thing, that if you want to be happy, then act like a person who cannot hear, who is deaf and dumb, in many cases, you have to be deaf and dumb. You don't have to speak, you don't have to react, you don't have to even bother, you don't have to, care about it. And then there are many cases, like how he has explained about Arjun and Shri Krishna's conversation in one of his discourses, that Arjun was also giving up on his mission. So Arjun's mission work was to obviously get the revenge of his wife Draupadi, but at the same time this was also related, because this is his inner work and his mission work. It is also related to the finishing off of evil people. Now, most of those evil people were present in his own family. So it was a very hard place for Arjun and all the Pandavas to be in, because these divine masculines had to not only, they didn't want to partake in wars. They were not those type of people who wanted to do war. And most importantly, they were not those type of people who wanted to kill their own kins and teachers and elderly people. Forget about all the, disrespect their cousin brothers had shown towards them. Their cousin's brother even tried to kill them much before in the story. If you have read the story of Mahabharata, it's one of the best, most interesting epic. I think on number 1, I find Ramayana, and number 2, I find Mahabharata. But both are by the reincarnations of Vishnu. Krishna and Ram both are reincarnations of Vishnu. Now the interesting part is that what does Mahabharata and Ramayana teach us? Both of them teach us one thing, that don't be so good that people take advantage of you, they take you for granted, and don't be so mean that people spit you out, like you're so bitter that people spit you out, and you're so sweet that people swallow you in. You have to be in the middle, you have to be like the tongue in the mouth. It's not swallowed and it's not spitted out. It's right in the middle, and it's like a, database parameter checker or something like that, which can tell you what is the taste and what is this, what is that, what is hot, what is cold. It's just like how we are supposed to be. The tongue is simply an observer. you know. But even the misuse of the tongue is not correct, and even the lack of use of your mouth or your tongue or any organ is not appropriate. Now, why am I talking about these things? Because these things are very much connected to this divine masculine and this divine feminine, because both of them, and all these are all mystical secrets for many people. Let me tell you, a lot of these things you learn by experience, by practical experience. When you are in situations, you know, there are places you have to take a stand, you have to speak for yourself, you have to make your own decisions. And there are some places where you have to be like the child who's just sitting and, you know, watching the others and making their own notes, and not even giving a reaction, not even giving a response, just being there, you know. Now, these mystical secrets, or you can say these life hacks, they are so important for anyone on the ascension journey, because it's only on the ascension journey that everything, all your illusions, all your delusions, all your perceptions, everything that you have collected in all those years that you have been living on planet Earth. Let's talk about the present life, you know. A lot of us don't even know about what was the past life like. So I tell a lot of people, when we are doing inner work, for some time forget about, you know, past lives. A lot of people also ask me to do past life regression therapies. And I ask them that, have you worked on this life? Have you received the proper guidance for this life? Because they don't understand that this life itself, all the templates that you're healing, it's connected to not only your past lives, but even your ancestors. If you fully heal this life, if you fully rectify this life, you don't need to heal anything else. Because this is connected. The DNA is connected because the DNA has traveled from very far. You may not even realize how far it has traveled from in time and space. You know, for the DNA, the concept of time and space it doesn't matter. It's also like, you know, doing its duty. It's like an observer. And this whole cycle of life and death, of birth and reality, of, you know, love and hatred and everything, these are just a part of the cosmic world. All the procedures. A lot of these things, like how Brahma is the creator and Vishnu is the preserver and Shiva is the destructor, all of these things will become very clear to you as you keep going further and further up in the ascension journey. And for the divine masculine, who was otherwise a skeptic, who was otherwise would never believe on something called intuition, or would never believe on something called, you know, imagination or visions, or, you know, the connection to another world. From a practical perspective, he is very much connected to this life. From a practical perspective, like from a earthly, materialistic perspective, from practical from his side, okay? Real practicality is to see things as how they are. And when you see things as how they are, normally people see only from the two eyes that they have. And we have a third eye, which you cannot see from your visual world, but it becomes, you know, some people can see through other people's third eyes. Like I could never see it, but in the past 2-3 years, I'm able to see who has a developed third eye because it's very visible for me. And many a days I see my own, you know, and I asked some people, can you see this? They said no. But then I asked some other people, in fact, those who are in the ascension journey, in fact, it was actually pointed out by someone else to me that, hey, look at your third eye in this video. It is so clearly visible. And I was like, can you see it? She's like, yeah, I can see it very clearly. And then so it's because that person's third eye is also developed, so they can see it too. And I first saw it in one of a lady who was doing a video. She also has a YouTube channel. I saw it on her forehead first, and it was very visible. And I thought to myself that, is it an effect or am I really seeing it? But on that particular video, it was very visible. So slowly and gradually, I started meeting other people who would tell me that, yeah, your third eye is quite clear. Then I was doing a reading for a girl in America. And when I was talking to her, even her third eye was visible to me, very clearly visible to me. And I told her that you have a very strong intuition power. And she said, yeah, I feel that so. I feel that too. So, and I said, but because, your other chakras are not unblocked, they're blocked, you're not able to make full use of your intuition. So now this masculine, the words they say to me sometimes, it's very crazy because these words were given to me in the morning. The whole morning I received the words. And then I ignored it because I was doing other things like my chores. And then that's why I like to thank my dogs, because they actually are connected in many things, that happened to me in terms of intuition. So one of my dog actually ran away, and she ran and she went to in the same building, she ran to the upper floors. And I, just out of, curiosity, not that, because she's lived on the streets also, so she comes and goes whenever she feels like. And it's winter time, so I have made a special bed for dogs who, could like to sleep over there, and it could be cold. So just in case they want to drop in, just like people have human guests, I entertain the animal guest also. And they are much more peaceful, and they mind their own business, and they don't care if they have a warm, cozy bed. They don't care. They get food, they get the bed, and that's it. They're happy. So now I followed her, and when I went to the topmost floor of the building, I heard the same words coming out from another house, from a house. But this time they were in a form of a song. But they were the same words, and it was so shocking to me, because that was universe's way of telling me that, hey, we have given you some work, you better do it. So this is also a part of your intuitiveness, because if you're not open towards intuition, towards these sensory perceptions, these extra sensory perceptions, then you may never be able to catch it, because you will not be spontaneous. So from another person's perspective, it is totally a waste of time to do certain things. But when your body and when your soul and when everything and its inspired action is driving you to do something, it's making you do something, you're not doing it, it's happenstance. Now this divine masculine has been feeling the same thing for past, you can say, over a few months. And when I say months, it's not 2 months or 3 months. It's at least like 8-9 months minimum. And he has been he feels like this, like a pregnant lady who is about to conceive a child, like he never realized, that he's been nurturing something within him. Don't take it literally that divine masculine is giving birth, but it could be a connection with the spirit baby also. Maybe there is a spirit baby who's helping him out, coming from another realm to, get him united. Or it could be just an idea that has been growing and it has now taken life, sort of a life, which means it's giving him life. So it's a life force from that perspective. What he's been saying, that ever since this divine feminine came in his life, then left, then came, then left, then came, she has made him feel or understand things not via what's happening in the physical reality, but what's happening within him. He realizes the love he has for her is because of, not because of the actions. It's because of something he feels within himself. It's like he can sense her energy as if she is in the same room with him. They are working together in a room, like both of them are watching something on their own phones or reading a book, their own respective books. It's almost like he's having visions of the future where they would be spending time together. And it makes him very happy. It gives him some kind of energy, some kind of strength. But at the same time, it also helps him contemplate that, I was being very logical, extra practical from the worldly sense, that these things cannot happen, or whatever she was saying, that we have a soul connection or there is something about us and this and that. Again, when these things happen, you're not very result oriented. You should not be result oriented like a lot of people are. When will my union happen? When will my union happen? When will my union happen? Why has divine feminine, masculine not called me? It's been 4 months he has not called me. Like seriously, if you really need answers for these questions, you can do a personal reading. But if you're dropping these type of questions in so many other people's channels also, then, or my own channel also, like when will he contact me, when will he call me, when is this union going to happen, when will the marriage happen, this itself shows that you are not connected with your intuition at all right now. Or you were connected to the intuition when you met him, you attracted him, but then now it's not there because of all the fear-based energies and frequencies that are making you feel that you're not in union. Union energies don't work the way you think a lot of people think. Union energies don't work like that. The union energies take place within us first, which is why we use the word 5D, just to make other people get a clarity, not get confused, So he is saying now to the Divine Feminine that her eyes has many secrets. Her eyes has many mystical secrets. And though you may look like a simple girl, doing your simple things, living a simple life, not being a part of something big, like a lot of people now I'm talking about specific case here. Now this Divine Masculine was very enamored by politicians or by social workers or by those who run NGOs, where people on a materialistic level, they have a charity foundation or they are doing fundraisers, like with socialites and sophisticated people. They're having big events and all that. Or they're connected to some orphanage. The word orphanage is being shown to me here. That the Divine Masculine is very enamored by someone who was working for an orphanage or something like that. Or maybe some religious organizations. Now, in the 2020 theme also, because there were certain energies that changed, that shifted. And in the coming time, especially in the coming few years, a lot of people would learn this lesson because obviously the twin flamers learn it before others. So he's becoming quite open to these fake people who are in politics, who are in charities, who are in fundraisers, who are in NGOs. They are doing it only for publicity. They're only doing it for a good image building. They're only doing it for the money. They basically have some or the other hidden and obvious agendas for doing this, And he was now thinking that I was getting so impressed by those big banners and big hoardings and big names, whereas a simple person just being in their own space can have so much influence on the whole planet. He is actually observing it from that perspective now because he is able to feel that energy shift within himself. He is able to himself see that the same person was doing the same things, but it was me that I was not able to see it. But now when I see into her eyes or when I look into her eyes, because he is somewhere or the other, he is spying on her most of the times. As long as he is spying on the feminine, it's okay. If you have the masculine energy, if you were the runner and you are spying on your feminine, it's okay. That is the way it should be. And that happens also in separation, because once you feel the union energies, you don't need to spy on someone. You don't need to chase someone again, And the masculine also, when he stops doing this physical spying, then automatically they have a very solid 5D connection, which turns into into some kind of a validation that people seek. Like maybe he starts talking again and again. But my problem is with those people. It's not with the people who are receiving communication. But even when you say things like receiving communication, or even when you say things like I'm not in no contact anymore, or this happened or that happened, this is where again the whole purpose goes for a toss. Because again, the divine feminine and masculine get very connected to the physical aspect of it, which is something that they're not supposed to completely do. Okay, there's a certain way, like for your own satisfaction, and when it is happening naturally, like naturally you walking on the road and you bump into your DM or your DF and you had not planned it, and then you meet them, you go like, hey, what's up? You're not like, like how you would be. oh my God, I met my DM, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, you will be like, I met this person. For you, meeting the DM is just a very normal thing. It's not something out of the blue. It is not like stars falling from the heaven to the earth. It is not like, you are seeing some kind of psychedelic imagery in normal, situation without you being high on drugs. It is not like gods and goddesses showering flowers on you from above. Nothing should be so extraordinary. The biggest problem with the twin flamers on planet Earth is that they make it very extraordinary. In Hindi, we have a word called alaukik. Alaukik, something out of the world, not laukik, alaukik. So they make it something supernatural or something out of the world, and they put that whole experience on the pedestal, and especially the divine feminine. I'm right now talking about the divine feminine, not the masculines, because in this aspect at least the masculine was awakened fully. Because awakening is also not like one place awakens. It's like, the 1,000-petaled rose. The crown chakra is the 1,000-petaled rose. So all 1,000 petals, they lit up. They open up, which were otherwise in a form of the bud. When the crown chakra opens up fully, then all those 1,000 petals, so many petals, they open up. So imagine how it feels like. So one of those petals in his case was probably already getting some energy. So he would never go crazy, when she would be like, we have to meet tomorrow or day after. He would be never the one to say, oh yeah, I'm so excited to meet you. Yes, yes, yes. He would be excited too, but he would not show it. Like in separation also, the masculines have equal amount of love for the feminines. They're equally missing them, but they don't show it. They're really good in, masking that feeling. So both of them need to actually exchange. It's like an exchange offer. They need to exchange certain elements that one possesses with the other. So she needs to get his sort of stability, his sort of practicality, his sort of this being nonchalant, being very normal in situations, being like, oh yeah, hi, it's so nice to see you. What's up? Where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to the market. I have to get something. All right, no problem. Great. Okay, then I'll see you soon. I'm with my friends. Oh, sure. No problems. If you meet like that, when you bump onto the road, you can meet with a hug also, like, hey, hi, how come you're here? It's so nice to see you. You can meet in that tone also, like how you would meet a good friend. But that, that anxiety should not be there, or like how some people say butterflies in my tummy, nervousness should not be there. As the divine feminine, you have to be what he is doing right now. You are the goddess, and the gods are there to assist the goddesses. That is how it works with gods and goddesses. So if you're not going to be the goddess, then how can, you awaken the god around you? The divine masculine is saying that she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. It's not her physical beauty anymore that I find beautiful. It's just the person she is, the style she has, the attitude she has, towards life, her behavior, everything is far more beautiful, far more beautiful than her face. This is what he's saying in this channeling. That not only, okay, the face is nice, the skin is nice, the clothes are nice, okay. So what? It was nice before also. When I met her, it was always nice. But now, more than all of these things, I find that she is such a beautiful person within. Like, wow. He is saying that, okay? These were the words given to me. Verbatim, it was given to me like this, that even more beautiful than her face is her attitude. She has the best attitude. She has a beautiful, amazing attitude. He went like that, Her silence is so beautiful. Her naughtiness is so beautiful. Her mischievousness is so beautiful. So these are all qualities. When someone is mischievous, it's not the action. It's that energy, that mischievous energy they have, or that playful energy someone has. It's not like they have to run around in the house and throwing things like children do. But they're just playful. They'll just wink or they'll just smile. They'll just do something which is so playful. So he's finding every single aspect, the way she looks at him, and the way she smiles at him, or the way she gushes at him, or the way she talks. He's become so observant of every single movement of hers. And she, on the other hand, is completely nonchalant. She is completely nonchalant. And even while he's saying this to her, on her face, first he says it to himself, and then he says it to her face, that even more beautiful than your face is your attitude, your behavior, your cuteness. You're so I really like your energy, he's saying that. That is even more beautiful. Your presence is more beautiful. And she goes like, okay. She's like, okay, she smiles, that's it. She doesn't go like, oh my God, my divine masculine said this for me. Wow, I should be jumping over the moon. She's like, yeah, okay, cool. You're also nice. She's being nice. You're also nice. So on this note, I'm going to end this part of this channeling. There is another part coming up, and in that part, I will share all the other words and lines and all the other energy, that is a few more points that are left. So I'll see you in that one, and one love and peace out.